Hello, hello, hello. 12:30 on a Thursday. You've got me, Dr. Stephanie Fine. I am here to talk to you about maintaining weight loss. You can also lose weight with these techniques, but you also can maintain the loss you've created, which is huge, right? Because that's just one part of it, is the losing weight. That's its own thing. The maintaining, that's the life work. Here's the good news, it gets easier, but you do need to practice and make sure that you're making the changes that are necessary for you to be able to maintain your new body. And we happen to be in December. You know what that means? Party! Woo! OMG, so many parties. And if you got your blog this morning, your Ounce of Prevention, you can get that every Thursday morning right in your inbox. Just go to stephaniefinemd.com. You can sign up right there for it. You got 12 tips on how to do parties well. Because let me tell you something, if you can do a party well and you have, 6 in December, you can maintain your weight in December. If your goal is to lose, you definitely need these tips, but then you can also, tweak to what you need to do. So, handling parties. Let's talk about it. I dressed up a little for you today. It made me think of parties, right? So the wonderful here's the main thing, and we always have to do this, is to pull out, right? Like, why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to go to a party? Why do you want, if you pull out and you look at the bigger picture, you can get the motivation that you need. Many times we go to a party. Now, sometimes it's out of obligation. I invite you to look at those and say no to the ones you really don't want to go to. That's just one thing. But if you're going for family and friends, then you want to connect. The reason to be there is to connect with your friends, right? The food is not it. Now, something like Thanksgiving, well, even Thanksgiving, literally the food, is center stage, but so is gratitude and that sort of thing. So partying, make sure you have your head on straight about your intention for the party. There might be some with cookies, but most of them will be connecting with people you love. So that's number one. But then we have some practical ones. And my favorite was not standing by the appetizers. Makes all the difference in the world, truly. Because when I was just recently at a party where they had chocolates on the table. Like, you were having dinner, but there were chocolates on the table. Makes such a difference when there's little things like that on the table. If they aren't there, you're not going to be reaching. So sit somewhere else, do that sort of thing. Really makes a difference if you have any control over it. That one's one of my favorites. But the one I was going to highlight today is this idea of having a non-food activity at the party. Now, if you're in control of the party, you can do more of this, right? You can have a game available or a craft. We're at one with a white elephant, which is where you get a present of a certain value, and then people have numbers and they choose and they can steal, and it's a really fun activity. It has nothing to do with food, and you're interacting with the people and you're having a good time. It was brilliant. I'm like, this is a smart thing. Now, of course, on Christmas you have that naturally, right? If kids are opening presents or everyone's opening presents, that's a fun thing to do that does not need food either. But we can create that if we don't have anything with presents. So a game, any sort of board game, or charades even, anything like that. And also crafts. So holidays are a great time. You can bring crafts, you can bring markers and paper and scissors and make ornaments for the tree, or any sort of thing. Decorating cookies would be a little counterintuitive to this, but a non-food craft would be amazing. Again, you're connecting with people, and it's not around food. It's very helpful. So, the non-food activity, and here's the other piece I wanted to say about that. Let's say you don't feel comfortable bringing scissors and pens and paper to a party. You may not, but what you can do is have a game in your own head. And the game I'm talking about is collecting information. Let's say you want to get as many middle names as you possibly can. So your goal for that party is to talk to as many people as you can and find out their middle names. Or you can find out where everyone went to high school, Or you can decide you're going to talk to 2 people and learn everything you can about them. Something where you have a prepared question in your mind, and that's going to be the focus. When you have that, then the wine after wine after wine doesn't look as enticing. But let me tell you something. If you're bored or uncomfortable, wine after wine after wine often does look enticing. This is why a little bit of thinking ahead and planning, OMG, makes such a big difference. Now, speaking of planning, how the party, I do want you to plan. You know I love planning. When we use our planning brain, we make much better decisions than in the moment with the cheese dip right in front of your face. So, planning how the party fits into your week in terms of the fact that it just will, by definition, be more calories than you normally have. So are you going to move a little more? Are you going to have fewer calories on the other days? How are you going to plan? And that brings me to the last point, which is, again, we're sort of eagle view. What is your goal for the month? You certainly can do for the week. But the month of December is a special month. There really are a lot more things going on food-wise. Is your plan to stay the same? Is it okay for you to gain a couple pounds because you're fine losing it in January and you really love all the activities? Maybe you want to continue losing because you've been losing and it's been awesome. You can decide any one of those things. And once you make that decision, that helps you with the other decisions that you need to make for the week in order to support that decision. So are you going to gain a little and lose it? Are you going to maintain through the month of December? Or are you going to continue to lose? Once you've made those decisions, a lot of the other decisions are made for you. So checking in with your plan works out really well. That's it. Party season. So excited about it. And it can happen with connection and not calories. Now, of course, we'll have some calories, but I mean, not a crazy number where we're going to have to deal with it in a way we don't want to in January. So have a fantastic holiday season. You can do this. All it takes is a mindset shift, and you could do it in the car on the way, as long as you're not starving. Remember to not be starving when you're going to parties. But you can think of the questions. You can plan who you're going to see and where you're going to sit. You can do all the party tips that are found in this week's Ounce of Prevention. So check that out. So happy to see you. Have a fantastic week. Talk to you next week. Oh, and Merry Christmas. Oh, and Happy Hanukkah, because Hanukkah starts too. So the next time I talk to you next Thursday, all this stuff will have happened. Have a wonderful time with your loved ones and enjoy them.